Forever Youth Pastor, episode 14. This is a podcast on faith, love, and the power of compounding. Every episode, I'm going to have one story, and we'll just weave those topics in. Sometimes it'll be faith, sometimes it'll be love, sometimes it'll be the power of compounding, but often it will have a bit of all three because those are the things that I believe in. Those are like my Mount Rushmore. And we're just going to talk about what that looks like. And also, every episode, I am declaring from this point forward, we will talk about artificial intelligence. A pastor, a 22-year youth pastor, we're just going to talk. We're just going to have this little corner of the internet. There'll be like 4 of us, and we're just going to talk artificial intelligence. And the reason is this. It's like the people making this are saying it's going to change literally everything. It's going to change everything that there is about the world. And so if we as Christians are trying to understand the world, we should have an understanding of this thing that everyone says is going to change the world, and it's going to happen fast. And so every episode, the last some amount of minutes, we're just going to have like a topic, like what is happening today? And we're just going to like wrestle with it. And that's going to be a part of this. But first, this episode, a story. I got called a heretic on the internet. I feel like I finally arrived. Oh man, like I got called a heretic on the internet. And so, like, let me just explain, first of all, a little backdrop to this. I am 22 years a youth pastor of this small church on Eastern Long Island, and for most of that time, I could not have given a rip about social media. I was like, meh, take it, leave it. I didn't really have any interest on making. I'd occasionally post some nice, beautiful photos on Instagram, and I kind of enjoy photography. And so that was something I did, but just not my thing. And then all of a sudden I had this crazy idea like 250 days ago. It's like, what if every day for 1,000 days, I just make one video every day and just like start making content for the internet? And the reason I chose that is not because I love the internet or think it's this safe, awesome place to make stuff. The reason I'm into that is because that's like so hard. That's like it, on my Mount Rushmore of hard things. So I thought, man, I set out to write a book, which I will write a book, probably actually many books. But this is way harder. Just talking into a camera, and there's like potentially the whole universe on the other end of this. Because like there's no limits to any of it, right? It's like anyone in the world can be on any side of this. And it's like, here's my thoughts. And it just sets itself up for like any comment. And usually it's just like anonymous. Usually it's whatever. But I've basically made a video for the last 224 days in a row. One video every day. And the reason I decided to do that, because that seemed really impossibly hard. And the way I think of things, and this is tied into my belief in the power of compounding, it's like the more you take on hard things, and the more you take on hard things over a long period of time, you're going to grow. You're going to grow. Like you will be different in a year's time than you are today if you do that. And so my whole life, it's like I'm just trying to find some things to like that are hard and then face them and then go for it. But knowing the whole time on this so far 224-day journey of making one video every day and putting them on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, it just exposes you to anything and everything. But I'll tell you this, in the learnings up to this point, the worst critic was not user 749. The worst critic was like my own insecurity. The biggest challenge that I faced in this journey is nobody on the outside. It's right here. And so when there was a couple of comments early on, maybe like comment like video 20, 25, who even knows? It was like just a totally limp, PG rated comment, but it like it sent me spinning. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I quit. This is not for me. And then I like talked myself off the ledge. And the next few videos, I was like passive and like weak and shaken. It's all there. Like you can just see the countenance change over time. You can see what's changed in me is, I would say, two things. It's like courage is growing and confidence is growing. And so that brings me to what happened to me yesterday. I got called a heretic on the internet. And so I'll put it on the screen here, but this is a comment and I'll blank out part of his name, but leave part of it because, bro, just like own it, right? Sorry, dude. That made absolutely no sense. Not rationally, not morally, no clear principle, no clear lesson, biblically, out of context. Right? And okay, here's the thing. Like, it wasn't my best video. And I watched it back, it's like, yeah, dude, there kind of wasn't a clear through line there. And it's like, yeah, man, I don't know if there was no moral principle or clear lesson, but yeah, maybe not my best work. But here's the thing that I'm learning that is just worth sharing. This is a story that's worth telling. And I'm experiencing this. Is if that comment would have come across like day 20, I quit. I'm done. I just wouldn't have been able to handle that. And that's the truth. I would have quit. I wouldn't have been able to handle that comment. But here's what's so cool is like after 223 days, I've gained courage to like keep going. And I've also gained confidence to know, it's okay. This user can absolutely have his or her opinion. It's good. It's okay. I'll be fine. And if I like really press it hard, if I don't let myself be affected by that, there's like nothing that actually changes in my life based on that comment. Not anything, not a single thing. My wife thinks no differently of me. My kids just, they're fine. My friends who like actually know me, they're good. And so it's like, what do I even do with that if I don't do anything with that? And what if I just take it in and be like, yeah, I just wrote back like, thanks. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going though. And today's video, you can check it out. But like, just my response is like, hey, I'm actually really proud of myself because this isn't going to stop me. And I'm just going to keep going. And also, I think it's kind of a badge of honor to get called a heretic on the internet. Like, I'm not sure you actually have a real existence on the internet, a real presence at all. I'm not sure you're moving the needle whatsoever if you haven't at least one time, if not millions of times, been called a heretic. And what's cool is like, I feel like I'm growing to be able to handle that. And that's the great encouragement. That's the great learning for me. It's not that I can just like flick it off like, oh, I've got this armor built up, like your words don't hurt me. No, words have always hurt me. Words have always hurt me. And I've sometimes made up other people saying words that hurt me. Like words hurt me. And that's just like how I'm wired. And so I'm not flicking this off like this, oh no, I'm too tough for this. It's like, no, I just believe in, like, I just believe in myself more. I just believe that like I can do this. I just believe that like I got a space here. And I can just like put some stuff on the internet. And sometimes I'll get some good stuff out there. And sometimes it'll be a clunker. And it's okay. It's more than okay. It's brilliant because that day I posted something. And my courage keeps increasing and my confidence keeps increasing. And so, of course, what that is I'm growing because I'm on a journey to try to do something that I deem to be really hard. And so if you're tracking 10 minutes into this video, this is like the learning. Just try something that's really hard and do it for a bunch of days in a row and buckle up because it'll get really rough. But then you're going to start breaking through. And then all of a sudden, you're going to start growing in courage and confidence. And then all of a sudden, you're going to look yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, yeah, I'm a more courageous, confident person. And I understand that I am a son or daughter made in the image of the one true living God, and I matter. And like what other people think about me isn't nearly as relevant, especially the people not on your Mount Rushmore. Like those people, it actually deeply matters what they think of me. I mean, I'll try to kind of move mountains for them. But like everyone outside of that, I'm learning it kind of doesn't matter. Especially like if you see yourself in the image of your creator and like he loves you and you matter to him. And like he loves you so much he gave his one and only son for you, Jesus, right? Like if that's all sorted and you just have like this deep confidence, people that just have deep confidence in that stuff, in their like deep identity as a son or daughter of the one true living God, I don't find that those people are yelling and screaming at each other that much, like arguing with words about Jesus. No, they just seem good. They just seem good and confident and courageous. And also, they're kind of just going for things. They're kind of just trying it and not really like grumbling and complaining. They're just going for it. And then you just like grow along the way. And then like you just fast forward 50, 60, 70 years. And the compounding of that is like there's just been this hurricane of impact. And it's like those are the people that people are lined up outside the doors at their funerals. And there's not a lot of those people. But you probably have met one before. Maybe you're one of them and you sense it. Like people are going to be lining up outside the door for my funeral because my impact. Because my impact has been legit. And people have not only heard the love of Jesus from my lips, but they have seen it with my actions. And they haven't just heard you talk about Jesus. They look at you and it's like, oh, that's kind of like, he or she's like going for the way of Jesus. Like they're going for it. And they'll just acknowledge when they mess it up along the way and they'll just own it. They'll just kind of take responsibility for the stuff along the way. And then you just keep going. And you just keep growing and you just like keeping your eyes fixed on Jesus, who is like the one to follow. Like he's the greatest of all time. He is like Jesus is the way. And so like instead of just like fighting for the words and the stuff to say and like mix mashing like, hey, who's right and who's wrong? It's like, oh, if we just like keep our eyes fixed on Jesus and like live how he lived and talk how he talked and talk to whom he talked to freely and easily and often. And we just keep growing. And we just kind of like own our crap and keep moving ahead. Like if you live that life, people are going to show up for you. And the reason they'll show up for you is because you've shown up for them the whole time. Because that's what people who are following Jesus do. You show up for people. You just cheer them along. You just see that thing in them that they can't see. That's like this spark of brilliance, like this, they're just created in the image of God. And they may or may not even know that. They may or may not even understand that. And if you can help them to see that, I mean, the impact of that, it changes people's lives. And then you end up like years later, as that compounds over time, I mean, you just end up with just bundles and bundles of friends. Incredible amounts of people that you just love being around, and they just love being around you. And you've kind of been on this journey together to just point out these like sparks of like the image of God in them. And they pull that out in you and they cheer it along. And we're not like yelling and arguing about theological points and insights. And we can have incredibly, like, I'm a deeply curious person who wants to know like all that stuff. I mean, I've got hundreds of books. I love that stuff. I've been studying it my whole life. I'm pretty knowledgeable. I know a lot of stuff. I'm much less interested in the stuff than I am to just like love the person who's right there in front of me. That's where the action is. That's where the Christian life happens. It's not in some academic place. It's not from even a pulpit on a Sunday morning. It's like Christians facing the world, however you want to define the world, and just loving that person who's right there in front of you. I mean, nothing preaches better than that. There's not a darn thing that preaches better than that. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's a journey that I've been on, and it's hard, but it's just, there is so much goodness there. And I just encourage you along your journey to just keep facing hard things and let your efforts plus time compound, and you'll just grow exponentially. And I think you'll see if you like follow along. Like one of the things that I want to just show in real time is just this growth journey. And like, I want to describe the ways that I'm growing. And so far in this journey to make 223 videos in 1,000 days, or I made 223 so far, and my goal is 1,000 days. I've gained courage and I've gained confidence. And I believe like I now have the confidence that I got like this little tiny speck of space that I can just do my thing. And I'm really excited about this podcast, by the way. I think this is going to end up being really fun. But now we're going to enter into the AI section of this. 2 parts, a story with just some faith, love, and compounding throughout it. And the second part is just, we're going to talk about AI. And here's, again, the premise is like, one of my deep beliefs in life is just try to like understand how the world works. And you're going to hear me say that so many times into the future. It's like, I just want to understand how the world works. And so much of what I'm going to be putting out content wise is just some learnings like, hey, here's a thing. And here's something as I'm trying to figure out how the world works. And of course I want to weave that together with like faith and love, because That's the stuff that actually matters. Like, that's the Jesus way that I'm about. I want that to be integrated into this the whole way. And so I'm this random youth pastor from Long Island, New York, that's like studying AI the last couple of years. Full disclosure, like, has invested in AI, and I'm like trying to just track what is going on here. And so I'm like learning this and trying to figure it out. And I'm also realizing, like, oh my gosh, these worlds are crashing together really quickly. This AI stuff is going to be a massive conversation in the depths of our spiritual conversations. If it isn't or shouldn't be already, this, like, okay, let's just break this down. Let's just be like as real as I can possibly be with the information and the understanding that I have at this moment. But basically, what I've tried to go for my like source of ground truth with understanding about AI is this. I just want to know what the smartest people in the world who are actually making this stuff, not just experts, but the smartest people in the world who are actually making this stuff, what are they saying? And here's what they're saying. Is they're saying that this is going to be the next great industrial revolution. In fact, it may be exponentially bigger than the previous ones. And so just think of electricity. What was the world before electricity? And what were the jobs before electricity? And when electricity was invented, what did that change immediately? Basically, we all went from being farmers who had to like create for ourselves and sustain ourselves into like industrialization and just everything basically that humans like made have happened since that moment. And that was exponential. It's still exponential. But now, like what they're saying, just like electricity affected every single industry, AI will affect every single industry. And you might be sitting there, it's like, no, 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 no. Nah, I would be on the list of jobs not affected by this. It's like, I dare you to just Google what jobs will not be affected by artificial intelligence. The sad news is like, if you push the timeline far enough, there's not a single job that AI isn't going to change, affect, influence. And just again, to give you like frame of reference, like just think before electricity. Like, I bet the candle thought it was good. It's like fire thought, nah, I'll always have a job. And to be fair, fire will always have a job. So fire, you're good. You're good, fire. But like in a second, fire's job changed drastically. And like it just was able to light factories up, literally light factories up, power machinery to crank stuff out on levels that humans could never do it. And essentially AI is basically, it's like just digital brains. It's like all of like humanity's like total accumulation of all wisdom, knowledge, truth, untruths, everything, good data, bad data, it all got swallowed up by massive computers and just spun it around, spun it around, spun it around until it just shot out intelligence. And by the way, the great irony is that those supercomputers take up mass amounts of electricity. It all comes back to electricity. And in fact, our ability to ramp this forward in the United States of America is going to be restricted by the ability to power it because of a lack of electricity. There's some deep truth in there. You add power to something, right? What we give energy to, compounding. And so, like, this is happening, and it's going to be big, and it's going to affect all of our lives, and it's going to affect many, if not most, of our jobs. And the last bit that I've been hearing more and more recently as I listen to Mark Zuckerberg, the Meta CEO, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT, the one running those things. And by the way, color me skeptical on both of those guys. I do not love the future that they represent and the portrait that they paint. I'm just saying, you can come up with your idea yourself, but I don't know. But what those guys are saying, and many others, Elon Musk and many, many others that are the ground floor truth of what's happening here, is that this stuff is happening even faster than their fastest estimates. And so what I mean by that is when they're looking ahead and they say, hey, in 1 year as we're developing this thing, we think that like the fastest case scenario, it could get here, right? And then they have a middle case, like average, it happens here. And then a worst case, lowest case, it happens here. And Zuckerberg came out the other day and it's like every time we run one of these tests, it's faster than our fastest case is the progress that it's making. I'm going to say that again. Like one of the main 3-4 people on the ground floor of this right now in the world, not just the United States of America, he says, we come up with like case studies on how fast we think it's going to go. And every time it blows away our fastest case scenario. And so it's coming fast. And so just to like break this down and land this ship, it's like the last thing that I want this conversation to do is to like be this fear-based thing. Some of this stuff is scary. Some of this stuff, like I do not know what I think about it. In fact, no, there's some of this that I know will be a worse future. A more bad future happens if X, Y, and Z come into actualization. But of course, there's some stuff with AI that is going to just change things in a dramatically positive way for a lot of people, maybe even all people. And so that seems like it could be really good. And just the breakthroughs in medicine, the breakthroughs in science, the breakthroughs in just productivity and the ability to just raise people up out of places that are not good and allow at minimum like basic necessities and maybe even much better than that, right? And it's like been the grand ambition of humanity forever. And it's still like the great debate in our politics. It's like, how do we help even this thing out? And should it be the government doing it? Should it be business doing it? Should it be we just increase productivity and then all of a sudden like the whole thing will raise? Or do we tax the rich and like just then give money to the poor to like raise the bottom up and keep the top down? Like those are the basic economic conversations that happen like politically. And so, yeah. I mean, it could really help. It could also really be destructive. And so I'm just kind of like running this line of like thinking it will actually be both. It will actually be insanely helpful in some regards, and I think it'll be insanely destructive in other regards. And so, yeah, maybe that's like both good and bad simultaneous. But what I'm most interested in just like talking about like what's true and like what is impending? Like, what are we to do with that? And how are we as Christians, like, how are we wrestling with this? And when it affects us, and there's probably a big percentage of you that already feel this affects pretty dramatically. I bet your work has already changed pretty significantly. And if it hasn't already, it's not too far behind. And I'm guessing most of you, especially most of you who are this far into this podcast, like have kind of a pretty deep understanding of that. But there's a lot of people that have no idea what's coming. And this is going to be really hard for them. And like we have opportunity here. And I think like the question is like, who do we as people want to be when things change? Do we want to be people that grow and like figure it out? Hey, yeah, this AI thing is a curveball and my job might change dramatically. I might lose my job. It might make things that I used to enjoy obsolete and people don't do those things anymore. And you can get pissed about it and you can bemoan the future that's like unraveling in front of our eyes. Or we can take kind of the other side of it and be like, okay, there's opportunities here. There's opportunities here. And I could figure some stuff out. And there's like more information at my fingertips. Like, I kid you not, there's more access to information. Like, you have this digital brain that is in your pocket that you can pretty much ask any question in the entire universe, and it will give you a pretty good shot at the answer. And so there's like, there's there's not a lot of excuses left for a lot of us, like a big percentage of us. There's not a lot of excuses left. It really just comes down to like, how are we going to approach this? Are we going to like moan and complain, or are we just going to take this on and like buckle up and just like try to figure it out and like grow along the way and just say like, hey, this is weird, this is stupid, this is awesome, this is horrible. It's probably going to be all of that. But how it'll affect you most is how you let it affect you the most. And I know that sounds both kind of idiotic and like profoundly true. I think it's actually just profoundly true. And so the question is like, how are you going to be with this AI world? What are you going to do? How are you going to react to it? It's like push back, punch back, and push it away, and like, no, and then be the I told you so person when inevitably something goes wrong, because mark my words, something definitely will go wrong and we'll all bemoan aspects of it. I promise you. I mean, how's social media going? How's the supercomputer in your pocket called an iPhone, called an Android? Like, do you realize we all have like supercomputers in our pocket now? It's like, that's been unbelievable. It's like completely simplified our lives and made like the access we have to stuff. Like, try booking a flight in 1982. Try booking a flight today. I mean, 2025, use AI. 2045, it's just going to be completely different. There's not going to be a single thing that's going to like look and feel and sound the same. Although I would argue like humans just talking real, humans just doing human things, humans will become the masterpieces. Do we realize that? Like, the way God thought about us from the beginning, like we are his masterpieces. Yeah. That's what we'll like think about humans, especially the ones that like really put themselves out there, like expose heart, soul, like mind, spirit, their like true beliefs. Like the humans that just say the crap that they deeply believe in. If you just look across like who's winning today, you might not like them, you might not agree with them, but consistently they're the humans that are just saying stuff that they deeply believe in. And the ones that are like most robotic and not like speaking up and just like towing the line, nobody's listening to anymore. Nobody like cares what they think anymore, because it's just like the same old thing. I think press the next 10 years ahead, like amplify that by 1,000 times. And so just like man, these are just my thoughts. Take them for what they're worth. But like, even working on your communication skills, even like working on your ability to just talk to people, like looking people right in the eyes and just deeply caring what they think, like memorizing people's names, like showing and proving that you know their name next time you see them. Oh my goodness. That will prove to be like insanely powerful. And it already is. It super is already. Man, you want to learn skills. Like those are the skills. Those are the skills that just they're going to be invaluable. All right, we're done. This is the direction this thing is headed. It's taken me 14 episodes and it will continue to change and adjust, but this is where this is headed. But one thing I really like that I've done the whole time is like the people that have gotten here, that have gotten to the end, like I'm just going to have a word. And the word is, I always look for a cool word. It's Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach sticker. Cocoa Beach, Florida. Put that in the comment section, and people that don't know will be like, hey, we don't know. What is this about? And then the people that do, you're like, yeah, you hung on. Like, and also, Jeremy's super thankful for you all. And I'm guessing you're already my friends, most of you. And it's super cool. I'm thankful. Peace.